every once in a while as a content creator, you come up with an idea or a solution to an issue that you know that you may get some pushback on. It doesn't mean that you're doing it for any other reason other than you're trying to fix or find a solution to a problem, especially when it comes to sports that a team has gotten themselves into. In this case, the Los Angeles Lakers mortgaged their future considerably for a title. Now, they did end up winning that title. They then made a trade after winning that title for Russell Westbrook that put them in even more kind of a disadvantage for their future. But I have an idea of how the Los Angeles Lakers can save their future and get some assets back, and it comes by trading LeBron James. We're going to talk about all that and more right after this.
The number one place for your daily basketball fix, NBA Central. Hosted by the one and only CEO Haize.
All right, so I already know there's some Lakers fans, some NBA fans. Haize, you're crazy. You're only doing this for clicks. Is this, and this? And no, it's rooted in a honest place. So when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that very much so is kind of the poster child for mortgaging your future for a title. Now, they do have a title to show for it, and that is more than what some franchises have to show. And some franchises would absolutely mortgage their future for opportunity at one title. Some people bring up the Toronto Raptors when conversations like this come on, but the Toronto Raptors still had a nice base of a roster to build off of that was still young enough to where they didn't completely mortgage their future in a major way when they traded for Kawhi Leonard and got one title. They still have many of the pieces that were on that team when they won the title, and they still are looking to build towards it. They may be looking to move on from some of those players, but at least they still have those players to get more assets back for. Now, when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers and all the picks that they've given up in the past, in the upcoming, in the future, the Los Angeles Lakers don't outright own their own draft pick until 2026. Now, they could have their own pick if the Pelicans do take their 2024 draft pick. So they do have some of their future locked in there, right? They probably won't have a pick in 2024, which is, as right now, rumored to be the first year that NBA may start allowing high school players to come back into the draft. Even if it's not, that shapes up to be a pretty stacked draft. Now, the Lakers could have their own 2025 pick if that does come out, and they have their own 2026 pick. But outside of that, it looks really bleak in many ways for the Los Angeles Lakers, who rumored are trying to move some picks around. That 2027 and 2029 pick, which is the first pick that they can move to try to bring in some more assets. But I have a crazy idea. And so while I know a lot of NBA fans, and like I said, Lakers fans are not going to like this because LeBron James right now is the Lakers' ticket to relevancy, especially even though he's on the back end of his career and all those things, he's still a generational talent and one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. Let's be clear there. And even in what is a down year, he's still putting together all-star numbers and could definitely help a team. Now, the reason why, and if you see the title of this video, some people may have automatically clicked away. It is what it is, right? But if you my thought process behind this is, and let's walk through it, why LeBron James and trading LeBron James may be one of the best moves that the Lakers could make to save their future is because of this, right? Anthony Davis, yes, he's back out injured. And yes, he is a player that you're always going to have to make some types of gamble when it comes to health in regards to him. But when he was healthy this season, he not only looked great again, but he looked like he could be playing on what would look like an MVP caliber season if he was able to stay healthy for the full season. And while LeBron James did sign a 2-year extension, he has already said that he is going to go to the team that drafts his son to play with that team. So that right there puts the cap at 2024 is more than likely when LeBron is going to be leaving. So the Lakers could take advantage of that and go ahead and move LeBron James. Now, a team, I'm not going to have a bunch of listed teams that could or should be interested if the Lakers were to do this. It's already a crazy enough thing to think about trading one of the greatest players to ever play the game, right? And I'm not going to get into the GOAT debate, him or MJ. I'm a Bulls fan. You already know where my allegiances lie with that. But with that being said, when it comes to the Lakers potentially moving LeBron James, there's been no rumors on it. This is just me and speculative and just thinking about what the Lakers could do. You could very well get and net back a few first-round picks for LeBron James if you trade him to the correct team. And even if you don't, as far as, and I know some people are going to say, well, what do you mean? LeBron James could get you. Did you see what Rudy Gobert got? LeBron James should get that at least. But when you look at LeBron being on the decline, also probably only going to be a short-term rental for any team that does potentially, in this case, trade for him, you can get back either a nice young player, right, who you can then pair with Anthony Davis. and then go forth to build your future out. And that's really what this deal is about, is the Los Angeles Lakers reclaiming their future to recoup some draft picks or another young player to pair with Anthony Davis and continue building the roster out that way. Right now, the Lakers have pieced together a roster that has not had much success in the NBA. I think at times they flashed more success than what people thought that they would be able to do, or just playing better overall. They currently sit right now as the 12th seed in the Western Conference. They are 16-21 on the season, and they've lost 5 out of their last 10. Won 5-5, but they've won 2 in a row as of this recording. But the Lakers could very well look to move LeBron James, or let me not say could look. In my opinion, they should look to move LeBron James to try to save their future. Because if Anthony Davis, in this glimpse that you saw of him, is how he's going to play if he stays healthy, you can build a roster around it. Look at, to a lesser extent, Joel Embiid, a player that always misses a handful of games. You're always doing some type of injury management or load management with. He could be that for the Los Angeles Lakers, but I'm going to say this, and I'm going to throw this out here just for the interest of the video as well. You could see the Los Angeles Lakers also move Anthony Davis. Now, if you do decide to move on from both LeBron James and Anthony Davis, you are going to get enough picks back if you do the maneuvers right and young talent back to where you have something to platform and build yourself off of. Now, I don't think that that's likely for the Los Angeles Lakers. They are not a team that likes to go full rebuild very often. They like to rebuild on the fly, have some homegrown, well, not homegrown in this case because they traded for Anthony Davis, but they like to have some talent there to continue to build off of so they have something to market towards fans. Los Angeles Lakers fans are one of the fans that do feel very entitled to their team always being in close to contention, if not at least a playoff team. And I'm sure these last couple of seasons have been real rough on the Los Angeles Lakers that don't have a clear path to add young talent or significant young talent that you can possibly build the team around. Moving on from LeBron James or Anthony Davis could provide that opportunity for the Los Angeles Lakers and then do something creative with. Do I think that this is likely to happen? No, I do not. Let me be clear. I do not at all. But I do think that if they do want to get creative with things, if the Lakers do want to salvage their future, they could look to move on from LeBron James and they recoup some draft picks or young assets back. And when you look at teams that would be willing to do that, I'll throw the Dallas Mavericks out there, a team that could match contracts and salaries for LeBron James. But again, pairing him with Luka does not make sense. So let's scratch that. But when you look at the separation or lack thereof of separation between a lot of these teams, you could very well talk yourself into a team making a necessary move to try to add talent to their team in LeBron James, who is a facilitator, can do some things, and very well could be, if you're already a team towards the upper echelon that has a young talent that you'd be willing to part from to guarantee a title right now. I guarantee you some teams would be interested in it. Again, I said I wasn't going to start this off by giving a list of teams that could be interested in that, but let me know what you guys think down below. Should the Lakers possibly look to move on from either Anthony Davis or LeBron James, if you think they shouldn't look to move on from LeBron James? But I presented my reasons on why I didn't really have Anthony Davis as one of those players they should move on from. But if you do think that they should, where do you think they could look for a deal at? It's not likely to happen, but again, it's NBA, it's speculative. We like to talk about sports here, so it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think on everything down below. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of NBA Central. You can follow me personally at CEO Haize on every social media platform. If you want to send any feedback, questions, comments, concerns to this show, you can do so. NBA Central Show at gmail.com. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.